Good evening, everyone. You know, you really can't see anyone in the audience when you're up here. This is amazing. Maybe I will stay on script, Sharon. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Jacqueline Mathias, and I'm the Executive Director of the Community Foundation of Carroll County. It is my pleasure to welcome you and the Class of 2023 Philanthropists of the Year Awards. This is the community's one opportunity a year to honor those who have passion for our community, dedication to service, and vision for the future. Now, in its 15th year, Philanthropists of the Year, or as we affectionately call it, POY, recognizes those who have achieved greatness over a lifetime of personal giving and community service, the ability to grow a long-standing and successful nonprofit organization, and to those who bring new ideas to life, but most importantly, those who make an immediate and everlasting impact in our community. The Community Foundation of Carroll County's partner programs do an incredible job of growing their mission every single day. It is our pleasure and why we are so proud to support each one of those 300 programs and scholarships by providing them the legal groundwork and underpinnings so that they can focus on fulfilling that mission. It is this ongoing partnership that's what makes the Community Foundation's success possible, and it helps us support so many impactful programs in our community. It is my honor tonight to introduce tonight's MC, which means you guys don't have to listen to me the whole time. Mr. Graham Dodge. Graham is an award-winning entrepreneur, author, and patented inventor. He is the co-founder of 6 startups and mentor to many of those through his work at Johns Hopkins Technology Ventures. He is recognized for building one of the Entrepreneurs Magazine's 100 brilliant companies and currently serves as the top executive of 2 501c3 nonprofit organizations. One based at MIT that develops open source technology for the World Health Organization, and the other is called Magic, which is based here in Westminster. Offers STEM education and technology workforce development opportunities in cybersecurity, robotics, data science, app development, and game development. Graham lives here in Westminster with his wife and 5 kids. Please welcome Graham to the stage. It's all you, Graham.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you very much. All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Jackie. It is an honor to be here tonight with you all celebrating the Community Foundation of Carroll County and the Class of 2023 Philanthropists of the Year. We know that each and every fund and scholarship that is part of the Community Foundation family makes a difference right here in our community and even abroad. But tonight we are celebrating excellence, achievements, and longevity. We are honoring those who have hit the ground running and those who have turned tragedy into something special. Tonight we celebrate our 4 incredible honorees. This year our theme is, what keeps you growing? All year long we have been asking ourselves and others to explore their motivation for giving, for taking the risk, for stepping up, to make a difference in our community and beyond. Tonight we will hear 4 stories from 2 Community Foundation nonprofits and from 2 individuals, each unique and inspiring. All have taken root in Carroll County and made important contributions to our community. With that, I'm excited to bring you tonight's program. Tonight you will be entertained, you will be moved to tears, and we believe you will leave here tonight with a full heart and hope for the future. Together, we will learn how each of these organizations and individuals continue to grow and plant seeds for the future. Our first category is new this year. The Community Foundation of Carroll County staff asked its nonprofit partners to name the business, family, or friend that has made a positive impact on their mission. This category is our BFF award. This business, family, or friend, BFF, has gone above and beyond for a Community Foundation fund and in turn the community. Not just making donations, but making a difference. Not just donating time, but giving it their all. They have changed lives, created an environment for improvement, or made another type of significant impact in the community. Nominated by Community Foundation clients, also known as the funds, and affirmed by the Board of Directors, They have made donations, volunteered, or made other in-kind contributions that continue to make or have made a significant positive impact on a fund of the Community Foundation of Carroll County. Presenting this year's BFF Award is Thomas Gruhl. Tom is the executor of Ellsworth Cemetery and the Knights of Columbus, Maryland State Council's State Warden.
Wow, you really can't see anybody. Hello, my name is Tom Gruhl, and I started restoring the Ellsworth Cemetery about 14 years ago. I'm proud of many things that we've been able to do, such as to identify 180 unmarked graves, and we've had 11 headstones made for Civil War veterans and had them installed. I'm also grateful to Audrey, Jackie, and Melody, and the help and support that the Community Foundation has given the Ellsworth Cemetery. The Foundation's support to move the deed into a 501c3 was so very important. They handle the funds of the cemetery, which both saves me time, but it also protects the funds. We could never have done all of the things that we've been able to do in the cemetery without the Community Foundation of Carroll County. I am also very thankful for all of the support from the community and its leaders. There is one man in particular, and I am delighted to introduce Joe Dominick. Joe has been a tremendous ally and friend of the Ellsworth Cemetery. For more than 2 years, Joe has shown his dedication and generosity to preserving the history and beauty of this sacred place. He and his company, Gage Digital Media, have gifted us with a stunning logo and professional website that showcases our work and our discoveries. Thanks to their amazing contribution, we can share our stories, videos, and photos with the world and attract more support and interest. Joe also connected us with the wonderful people of Hay Westminster, who awarded us a $1,000 grant that helped us leverage another grant. They also created a captivating video that highlights the importance and challenges of our mission. Joe was the visionary who suggested that we pursue annexation into the city of Westminster, which opened the door for us to join the heart of the Civil War heritage area. He also introduced us to two outstanding professionals, Ms. Kelly Schaefer and Mr. Marshall Green, who generously offered their legal and surveying services for free. Joe has been an invaluable advisor and constant source of encouragement and inspiration. We are so grateful to have Joe as our supporter. I would like to invite my partner, Diane Betcher, researcher for the Ellsworth Cemetery, and Joe Dominick to the podium.
Friends, family, thanks so much. I'm really happy to be able to have a chat with Joe tonight.
Sorry.
You okay?
We'll try to have a chat.
Okay. So, Joe, when did you first learn about Ellsworth Cemetery?
So I was at a mayor and council meeting. I was the mayor at the time. I believe it was 2019. And you know, we had someone come to the meeting, and he's a current commissioner, Tom Gordon. If anybody needs me to do anything different with this, just let me know. But, he came to the meeting, and he brought this up. He said, Ellsworth Cemetery, I don't know who knows the whole story, but it's not in the city, and there's a reason for that. And he explained the reason. We had some Civil War soldiers come home from war because the color of their skin, they weren't allowed to be buried in the city of Westminster. So they bought a plot of land just outside the city, and it turned into Ellsworth Cemetery. And my first thought was, if I'm the mayor of the city, and I've seen the cemetery a bunch of times, and I drove past it like everyone else does when they drive past the cemetery and didn't think much of it. And I was like, if I don't know the history of this cemetery, how many people really do? So I was very interested in it, and I immediately wanted to right the injustice and annex it into the city. A couple months into the future, COVID hits, and a lot of that stuff got pushed off. And then I didn't run again, and it was in my mind. So I went back to a council meeting or two, made a statement, and was introduced to you guys, and the rest is history.
There you go, yeah. And so I know that the Hay Westminster grant, in addition to the funds that we got from the Hay Westminster grant, we actually were able to leverage it for another grant. And they also produced a video, and I think we have that we can share right now.
Hello, I'm Audrey Simoneau. Welcome to Ellsworth Cemetery. We're here today to tell you a little bit about what's going on in this old Civil War cemetery, started by 6 Civil War soldiers returning to Westminster from the war.
Hi, my name's Tom Gruhl. I started taking care of the cemetery about 12 years ago. There are 26 veterans here. We quickly found that a lot of the veterans' headstones had either been busted or removed. So we set off to get headstones for all the veterans. It broke my heart that these people were being forgotten, that the headstones had been knocked over, that some of them had been damaged.
This has been the Black Cemetery for Westminster for all these years. At that time, Black people were not allowed to be buried within the city limits. And the city limits are a stone's throw from right here.
One of the important people here that we have, Nicholas Paraway. He lived to be 110 years and 7 months. He was the first Black man allowed to vote in Carroll County. The city of Westminster would send a limousine to pick him up and bring him to the polling places. Here was this Black man that had come out, first guy to be able to vote, and how he really turned the whole tide of the thinking of people out there.
This cemetery in Westminster is a treasure and a source of pride, not just the Black community, but everybody.
We set out to find headstones for everybody, and of course, to do that, we had to prove where they were. We thought we would find about 30 unmarked graves, and we found 182 unmarked graves. Our goal is to put in headstones from the military for all the veterans, and then with grant money and money that we get from organizations like Hay Westminster, to fix some of the broken stones here, or to put headstones in for people that don't have headstones. People where we know the name and we know where they are, but to put a small stone back for them with the money that we can raise. We're hoping that this cemetery, we can teach the younger generation why it's important. These souls were buried out here because they weren't allowed to be in city limits. And to keep the work that we've been doing going through the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. And we want the community to be involved. And we've got lots of great plans. We're hoping to put QR codes by the headstones so that you can scan the code and it will bring up the history of the person that's there.
This project is one of the best things that I've ever been involved in my life. It's owned by the Community Foundation of Carroll County, so anyone who wants to make a donation to help us improve the cemetery, repair what needs to be repaired, can make a tax-deductible gift to Ellsworth Cemetery in care of the Community Foundation of Carroll County.
To see it start from just trying to make it so that people can come in and see it, to seeing people putting new flowers and monuments next to the graves of their loved ones, which means they're coming back, they're visiting. To physically touch a headstone for a veteran that hasn't had one in 100 years.
This is not a sad place. It's not. The wind is blowing, it's beautiful. When I come in here, we're completely surrounded by commercial and Route 140. I don't hear that when I'm here. It is so peaceful and serene. It's a happy place. It really is. It's not a sad place at all. It's a happy place. And the people who come to work here come because they love it.
Hey, Westminster, let's be awesome.
So in addition to the video, can we talk a little bit about like how the Hay Westminster organization helps support the raising the cemeteries, you know, supporting their efforts and raising awareness about the cemetery?
So Hay Westminster is it's a group I'm part of. I'm a trustee there with a couple other people here, I think. Go Hay Westminster. But we, it's a great group. It's part of we're a chapter of the Awesome Foundation, and the very base level, we give a $1,000 grant every single month to a different organization. It's not always a nonprofit. It can be a small business, as long as it helps make Westminster better. But that $1,000 grant tends to be the smallest thing that we do, because we produce a video for every single one of these. Actually, Justin Willett of Global Media is the one that does that, and he donates a video for every single month, except for I think one, where we had another videographer come in. But that video and other things that we do to promote the organizations that we give grants to tend to bring more value than the actual grant. And you know, a lot of organizations, you know, aren't going to have the resources to get a professional video production done, and it can go a long way. So we try to, you know, not only help support things with a financial piece, but also help the community find out about things that a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. The other piece that we really got from our, you know, your help with us is your company, Gage Digital Media. Offered some in-kind services. So could you talk a little bit about that process and what that entailed?
Yeah, so I always look at what I can bring to an organization or a project, and you know, money always helps, but I always try to look at how I can leverage whatever other resources or connections that I have. And you know, I didn't know the story, so but I'm a professional storyteller at a marketing agency, and we tell stories. So I thought, you know, what better way to help than to help tell the story? And you gotta start with a website where, as you know, you can upload the stories of individuals that are buried there, the story of the actual website. It's more of a forum than it is a website. And you know, a nice website has to have a nice logo. So we had to make it look good, and it's a really good resource. And I remember trying to tell people about Ellsworth. And it's really hard to just put it into words, you know, verbally. And when you go to the site, you can see and feel things that you wouldn't see and wouldn't touch you the same way if someone just told you. So that's why we went about it that way.
Yeah, and that's been a real blessing as we. Some of you may already follow us on our Facebook page, and which is a great place to share things. But it's not permanent. It's not, you know, it's fleeting. It's somewhere else. So this way, we actually can control the message, or control, you know, own the story, and not have it be somewhere else. So, and we love the logo. We use it on everything, including bookmarks. And if you look closely, my earrings tonight.
I didn't notice it until right now.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful earrings.
Yeah. Shout out to the maker space at the Westminster Library. Okay. So as we've talked about previously, Ellsworth was outside the city limits of Westminster. So what, you know, you talked a little bit about, you know, when you were the mayor and the annexation, but if you could talk a little bit about what was that process, and, you know, some of the other resources you were able to bring to us. Yeah.
So like I said, when it was mentioned, and we all, you know, some of us knew a little bit more about the cemetery than others, but I will say that, you know, I was the mayor, but there were five council members, and it was unanimous. Like, everyone wanted to do something about this. You know, then the pandemic hit, and then it just took a reminder, and everything went back into motion. But there's a lot more that had to go into it. It wasn't just the city needing to agree to it. There's other stuff that had to happen, and you know, I wanted to do it for two reasons. One, to right a wrong, but also it could open up possibilities, as we know now, for grants and things like that. And I wasn't sure what those things were even going to be, but I knew they wouldn't exist if it wasn't annexed. So, and I remember I had to convince you guys a little bit that it was a good idea.
You did. We weren't sure. We were like, well, we haven't been part of the city for 150 years. So.
Yeah. So, so you know, we went about that, and you know, I went back and reminded the new mayor and council, and everyone was 100% on board right away. I don't want to give credit for that, but also there's other work that needed to be done. And you know, I had a friend that was a land use attorney that sometimes we would fight back and forth when I was mayor, and she felt really bad about that. So when I called her about Ellsworth, no, you know, within like a second of me finishing the ask, Kelly Miller, formerly known as Kelly Schaefer from Schaefer Miller and Herf, she agreed immediately to do it. And we talked about what would need to happen, and we knew that we would need a civil engineer. So I reached out at that time to Marty Hackett, who I knew better, and his, he turned it over to his partner, Marshall Green. But again, within a second of me asking, Marty said, we're in, we love to do stuff like this for the community, let's do it. And he's like, man, I don't know, we probably already engineered 3 of the 4 sides of it anyway, so, but no, I guess my point is, like, I reached out to the community, and without hesitation, they jumped right in. And everyone's done more work on this than me, so I feel honored to be up here, but everyone put a lot of time and effort to this, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate not only that they did it, but how quickly they agreed to do it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, it has been amazing, the number of people who will come out and dig holes to install the headstones, and the community has really rallied around this. I think Audrey said it best, this treasure of Carroll County. So thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you to the Community Foundation of Carroll County. We couldn't do it without you because we don't know how to do all that other, legal stuff and financial stuff. So we're able to focus on taking care of the cemetery. So thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me be part of it.